Hi, I'm Diane from GoNaturalEnglish.com. I'm your English coach and motivator. Have you been feeling stuck in the same level of English? You feel like you got to this level and you just can't keep going, like you've hit a ceiling. I totally get that. It's frustrating. It's a little depressing. You think something is wrong with you, but don't feel that way. I completely understand. And actually, you know what? It's very normal. So if you feel that way, maybe you're doing something right. You have learned plenty of English. Now you just want to get it out there and you want it to just roll out of your tongue. I understand. And stick around for this video. I will share with you the reasons why you may feel this way and how we can fix that. Comment below why you think that you're stuck in that hump, or if you have already gone over the hump, what you did to improve your English and get it to the next level. And stick around to the end of the video and I will share with you the moment that I said to myself, oh my gosh, I got to the next level. My confidence went up, my vocabulary went up, my fluency just started spiraling out of my tongue. I will share with you that moment and I will tell you all that happened, the story behind it at the end of this video. If you like these English tips that help you become fluent faster, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Some misconceptions about why you feel like you're stuck. You may feel that way because you think there's nothing else for me to learn. I have read every book. I've been to all of my classes. I have all A's if you're going to school for English. Or you feel like you understand everybody, but you're just not able to get it out. And these things are very normal. I totally get that. And you may feel like either your teacher is not good or that you don't have enough time, that you've done everything that you can and that is just it. Do not feel that way. Don't worry. We're going to get through this together. Stick around. Check the comments below. If you know how to get over the hump and I didn't mention it in the video, just comment it. Maybe somebody else can relate and we can all help each other. These are my top 7 reasons why you feel like you're stuck in the same level and what can we do to fix that. Reason number 1, you might just have a very negative mindset. So you got to the point where you're not getting better, so you have a negative mindset and you start thinking that maybe you don't know as much as you think. But no, it's actually the opposite. You have learned so much now that I think your brain sometimes has this mental block. So I've experienced this. So you have this mental block that you've studied, you've done everything right, but it's just not flowing. It's not rolling out the tongue. And that is just because of your mindset. It's nothing else. It has nothing to do with your ability to learn or to speak English. Is that you have a mental block. And my solution to this is give yourself credit for what you already know. This should boost your confidence. You are your own cheerleader. Besides me, I will cheer you on, but you have to be your own cheerleader and motivate yourself and give yourself credit for everything that you have already learned. And I will share with you a story about my mom. She actually has had this issue for a long time. She had a really hard time getting over that hump. And once she did, she started speaking fluently, and then she got very shy about it and she thought she didn't know as much as she did. So it is so normal. My mom had it and she came here when she was a lot older. She came here when she was 33, and that is a lot harder for a 30-something-year-old to learn a new language. It's totally normal, but change your mindset and you will achieve great fluency. Reason number 2, you are too passive. So what this means is that you're doing a lot of listening and reading and studying, but not a lot of talking. That is passive learning. You're not actively learning the language. And sometimes this may be because you're used to just learning and reading. When you were a beginner, it was mostly like, okay, listening, memorizing. But once you get to a certain level, which is the hump, you're not speaking because you are used to only listening and memorizing, and that is the problem. And my solution to this is talk to friends, talk to yourself, talk to whoever you encounter. I will tell you this, I use this very often. What I used was I would get in front of the mirror and I would literally talk to myself. I would tell myself about my day. I would sit in front of the mirror and I would say, okay, Diane, you did this today. You made some friends. This was back in school. And it honestly helped because I was hearing myself. So I could, okay, I need to improve certain phrases or wording or whatever. It helps so much. Put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It happens. You make mistakes. I may make mistakes and I'm already pretty fluent, but I mean, now I don't care as much, but you shouldn't care either. Like not a lot of people can say they speak 2 languages or more if you speak more than 2. So don't be shy. Talk to yourself. Talk to the grocery clerk. Talk to the doctor, the nurse. Put yourself out there, and that is more of acting learning and not so much passive and sitting back and just listening. Reason number 3, you're not reading enough books or enough English content. So you don't have to sit and read 1,000 books a week, not at all. What you need to do is start reading little things. It could be, we have a lot of blog posts. Check out our blog posts. They're not very long. They're not a book long. So start by giving yourself goals. This morning, I'm going to read the news. I'm going to give myself 3 paragraphs and start reading out loud. This is so important. Not just reading in your head, but start reading out loud. Start doing it to yourself. This is part of the other problem, number 2. Start talking to yourself. You don't know what to say to yourself? Read. And I had mentioned in one of my previous videos using music. That's another way. But start reading. It improves your vocabulary immensely because you may read something, a word that you don't understand, but because of the context, you may be able to get the meaning. If you see a word by itself, it's a lot harder to understand what it means without a context. So I highly suggest that you please start reading more English content or books or whatever you like reading. It could be the news or our blog posts. Reason number 4, you are expecting results overnight. And that is not very realistic. So if you're sitting there and you're like, I studied today for 2 hours and I don't feel any more confident. And remember, our brain is a muscle. You have to exercise it daily. If you don't exercise it daily, you exercise it once a week, you're not going to see results. If you go and lift weights on Wednesdays, but then you go and look in the mirror and you look the same, maybe a little bit of improvement, but it's not noticeable. You're not doing it daily. And my solution to this is that you should probably start making a habit out of studying. Give yourself small goals daily, 10 minutes each day. Once you feel like 10 minutes is not enough, bump it up to 12, 15, 20. Make it a habit to the point that when you don't study, you're like, I feel weird, something is missing. So make that a habit so that you start seeing those overnight results if you keep going at it daily, whether it's watching a video. So it doesn't have to be sitting down with a book, reading, or looking at flashcards. Watch a video. Watch something in English, a show in English with subtitles in English. That is a huge one. And start reading out loud the news. Start reading the news out loud. That is so important. And start doing little things every day that practice your English. It could be in your daily activities, going to the grocery store, all of the things I mentioned. Do them daily, and then you will start seeing improvements. Reason number 5, you are relying too much on your native language. And I know it's so tempting, like you rely maybe on your kids, because if you have kids and you may use them to translate for you, or friends, or your phone, Google Translate. I used that a lot when I was abroad in China, I would use it to communicate, but that didn't help me learn Chinese at all. And I just suggest that don't rely so much on it. That is a huge problem. My solution to not relying so much on it is put yourself out there. Go out there and talk to the mailman, talk to whoever you need to talk to, so that you don't, or whenever you do need to talk to someone, whenever you need to run an errand or whatever you do, or for work, don't rely on your native language. Start speaking, start becoming an active learner. It makes a ginormous difference in your confidence. I assure you that once you start doing that, all of these problems are in a way tied together. So think about those things when you go about your daily activities. Reason number 6, you're not learning as much as you did when you were a beginner. And it's maybe off-putting because you're like, why am I not learning as much as when it was my first day or the first week of studying English? And that is great news. That's amazing news. That just means that you have learned so much that it's just right there, ready to just come out, and you can start speaking fluently once you get over that, what's weird, when you feel weird that you're not learning as much. That's because you haven't let it out of your brain. It's stuck in there and it's just accumulating and you haven't put it out there. And that's why it's a little bit off-putting. My solution to this problem is start making a little journal, a daily journal of what you learned, whether it's weekly or daily. So that way you're like, oh, well, it doesn't feel like that much, but this is what I learned. So that way you keep yourself motivated and you can physically see what you have learned. It could be very simple. I learned to order food at a restaurant. I learned how to say, can I have a fork? Little things like that. But if you are at an advanced level, you probably know how to say those things. Or you can just say, I felt more confident speaking English today. Give yourself credit for what you already know. It'll make a huge difference in your improvement. Reason number 7, if you're not as advanced, you're a little bit more of a beginner or intermediate, you feel overwhelmed. So you feel like, I learned as much as I can because after that, it's gonna be overwhelming. And it's very funny or ironic because you feel even when you do get over that hump, you're gonna hit another hump. And that's when you are more advanced and you just haven't been able to speak fluently, even though it's all in there. And I understand that. It could be very overwhelming when you think about all the things that you have to learn, or you hear people talking and you don't know 100% of what they're saying. You may know 30, 40, 50%, and that is overwhelming. I get that. I totally understand that feeling. And my solution to feeling overwhelmed is giving yourself smaller goals. Don't think tomorrow I have to learn all of English and the next day and the next day. That is overwhelming. So it's more about your mentality. Set yourself for smaller goals. I want to learn how to conjugate this verb this week or this day, and track it down. So make it big. Obviously the big picture is learn English, become fluent, learn conjugations, so start narrowing down what you want to learn by weeks or by days, so you're not overwhelmed, because then what happens? You might want to feel like you want to quit. And what's the point of quitting? You wouldn't be watching this video if you wanted to quit. So stay motivated, okay? Now that we're at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you the moment that I felt that I got over the hump. It's a quick story. We went to McDonald's, I believe, with my family, and my dad had been encouraging me and my siblings to order food for the family. So one of us would place the order, like talk to the cashier or the person at McDonald's. I was so scared. I was like, how could you make me do this, Dad? That is so mean. And he's like, do it. I'm sure, like, just do it. You're gonna feel so much better and not so scared after you finish. And I did it. I don't remember what the order was, but I remember ordering. And she not once said, what? And I know people that are learning English, you're afraid of somebody saying, what? You're like, oh my gosh, I said it completely wrong. I did not get one what. And that boosted my confidence. After that, I was speaking to everybody. I was like, Dad, I want to order the food. After that, then my siblings started doing the same. And we all got over that hump because we had learned a lot in school. We felt confident, but it just wasn't rolling out the tongue. So just put yourself out there. Even if they say what, repeat it. They're going to understand eventually. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. All of the reasons that I shared with you are very personal to my experience, and I've been in your shoes, so I know exactly what it's like. And this is coming from someone who honestly did not know any English at all until I moved here, and I was forced to put myself out there and make mistakes to improve my English. Don't miss free Go Natural English tips by signing up to our email at gonaturaleneglish.com/email. You can find the link in the description below. And again, I am so happy to join Go Natural English. I'm so excited to share my story and encourage others. I'm so happy to have joined Go Natural English. It's so exciting for me. I have been teaching English for a while, and it's such a personal experience for me that I cannot wait to share with you all of my tips, my tricks, my experiences to improve your English so you can become a fluent, even native speaker. You can sound like a native if you just keep motivated and stick to your study plan and keep your mindset very positive. If you'd like to continue learning, click on this video right over here. This was so much fun. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you.